Often, each day, people around the world make millions of business-related phone calls. From simple customer inquiries to conference calls to product orders, the telephone is one of today's most used business tools. Often, the first contact a customer has with a company is via the phone. And because first impressions last, it's critical that when a customer calls, you make a good impression. If a call is handled poorly, it can leave customers frustrated, confused, or just generally unimpressed. Conversely, well-handled calls leave customers feeling good about the interaction and confident your company can meet their needs. By applying specific rules and techniques, you help ensure you make a good impression and provide effective customer service in all the calls you handle. Think of a situation in which you received great customer service over the phone. What was it about the way the call was handled that made it so successful? In this course, you'll learn the basic rules of etiquette for dealing with a customer call, including guidelines for answering a call, putting a customer on hold, and transferring and closing a call. You'll also learn strategies for going beyond the basic rules of etiquette to provide really exceptional customer service over the phone. These include using an appropriate tone of voice, showing you're listening, using customer-focused language, helping to resolve problems, and mirroring your customer's language. By applying what you learn in this course, you can improve the level of service you provide to customers over the phone. This can help you make a good impression, attract new customers, and satisfy the needs of existing customers. Wendy is having difficulty with software she just purchased. She calls the manufacturer's customer care line, hoping for a quick solution to the problem. After dialing the number, she waits for more than a minute and starts to wonder if she dialed the correct number before a customer service representative answers her call. Follow along as Todd, a customer service representative, takes Wendy's call.
Hello, Todd speaking.
Hi, is this the Dialonic Customer Care Center?
Yep, what can I do for you?
I purchased your communications management suite, but I'm having trouble loading the email module. It won't sync with my email account.
Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, so what was your problem again?
The email module. It won't sync with my email account.
Sounds tricky. You better speak to Mike. He knows more about that. Let me put you through.
Hello? Todd? Hello?
Needless to say, Wendy wasn't satisfied with the way Todd handled her call. She contacted the customer care center hoping for assistance. Instead, Todd failed to answer promptly or identify his company, and he didn't seem interested in resolving her query. If Todd had applied a few simple strategies, he could have made a better impression on Wendy and left her feeling good about the call, even if he had to transfer her to another customer service representative who's better equipped to solve her problem. But Todd failed to apply basic telephone etiquette rules. Instead, he upset the customer and came across as unprofessional. What mistakes do you think Todd made in handling the call from Wendy? Following basic rules of telephone etiquette can help you avoid the types of mistakes Todd made. It ensures you project a professional image over the phone and leave callers satisfied. Specific rules of etiquette apply for answering a call, putting a customer on hold, transferring a call, and closing a call. To answer a call correctly, it's important to start by answering it promptly, generally within 3 rings. A customer left waiting for longer than this may be annoyed at the delay and is unlikely to feel that your company prioritizes its customer service. Next, you should greet the customer and identify yourself and your company or department. It's important to do this before asking the customer for information, such as a reference number. First, the customer needs to know who she's talking to. Finally, you should offer your assistance to the customer. As well as answering a call correctly, it's important to follow proper etiquette when you put customers on hold. Failing to do this can leave customers frustrated and confused about why their call isn't being dealt with. When it's necessary to put someone on hold, you should perform 5 key steps. Ask for permission, explain, give an estimate of how long the customer will have to wait, provide an update if necessary, and thank the customer for holding. Select each step to find out more about it. You should always ask if you can put the customer on hold. It's very important to get the customer's permission before doing so. Explain why you're putting the customer on hold, or what you'll do while the call is on hold. You give the customer an estimate of how long you'll put the call on hold, so the customer knows what to expect and can make a decision about whether to remain on hold or end the call and try again later. If you need to keep the customer on hold for longer than expected, update the customer by explaining why you're taking so long and how much longer you think you need. When you're ready to resume the call, you thank the customer for being patient while on hold. Which actions should you take when putting customers on hold? If you have to transfer a customer's calls to a colleague or another department, it's important to explain to the customer who you're transferring the call to and why, or how the person you're handing the call to will be able to help. When possible, you should also speak to the person to whom you plan to transfer the call, so that you can explain who the customer is and what the problem or query is. This ensures customers don't have to repeat everything they've already told you to someone else. It's especially important if customers are likely to be transferred numerous times during a call. To close a call appropriately, it's important to summarize and then check the customer's satisfaction, offer further assistance, thank the customer, and hang up only after the customer does. Select each step to find out how to accomplish it. Remind the customer of any actions you've agreed to take to resolve the query, and of any actions the customer may need to take. You should also ensure the customer understands and is satisfied with the way the query has been addressed. You ask the customer if you can offer assistance with any other issues. This allows the customer to bring up any points that still need resolution, or to make any new requests or queries. When closing the call, you always thank the customer and express appreciation. For example, you could thank the customer for informing you of a particular issue. This helps you to end the call on a positive note. You hang up the phone only after the customer has put down the phone. This prevents you from inadvertently cutting off the customer in mid-sentence. Following these steps ensures you end the call positively, hopefully leaving the customer with a good impression of you and your company. After ending a call, you need to record any important information, such as the details of the follow-up steps you've agreed to take, so you don't forget and you take the correct action. Remember Todd, who made a poor impression on Wendy, who called about a software problem? Follow along as he takes the same call from Wendy, but this time he applies the basic rules of telephone etiquette.
Good morning, the Atlantic Customer Care Center. Todd speaking. How may I help you?
Hi, Todd. I purchased your company's communications management suite, but I'm having trouble loading the email module. It won't sync with my email account.
Could you please hold for about 1 minute? I need to access the product database so I can assist you.
Sure, no problem.
Thanks so much for holding. My colleague Mike is an expert on the module. He'll be able to assist you much quicker than I can. Would you mind if I transfer you to him?
Yes, that's fine. Thanks so much for the help.
Todd applied the basic rules of etiquette for answering a call, putting the customer on hold, and transferring the call. As a result, he made a good impression on Wendy and left her satisfied with the service she received, even though he wasn't able to resolve her query himself. Why is it important to follow the basic rules of etiquette for handling telephone calls? What are the basic rules of etiquette for handling telephone calls? By applying basic rules of telephone etiquette, you ensure you project a professional image over the phone. Specific rules apply for answering a call, putting a customer on hold, transferring a call, and closing a call. You deliver excellent service if you care about the details. It's the little things that take over-the-phone customer service from average or good to exceptional. 5 strategies help you deliver outstanding customer service over the telephone. To excel, you need to mind your tone of voice, show you're listening, use customer-focused language, help resolve problems, and mirror your customer's language. In a face-to-face conversation, meaning isn't carried by words alone. It's also conveyed through body language and tone of voice. You don't transmit physical cues like facial expressions and posture over the phone. However, your tone of voice conveys your mood and intentions and can change the meaning of the words you use. It's especially important to use a positive, welcoming tone at the beginning of a call to make a good first impression and put the customer at ease. The first step in doing this is to smile while you talk on the phone. A customer can hear a smile in your tone of voice, and smiling makes speech flow easier. Different tones of voice and ways of speaking convey different messages. Someone on the phone may speak in monotone, or in a voice that's low and slow, high and emphatic, fast and loud, or high and slow. Select each tone of voice for more information about how a customer may interpret it. If you speak with a monotone, you project boredom and disinterest, and the customer may assume you'd rather be doing something else. If you speak slowly and in a low voice, the customer may assume you're depressed and you find it hard to speak. Speaking in a fairly high-pitched and emphatic or passionate voice shows the customer you're energized and enthusiastic about the subject. However, overemphasizing points or appearing unreasonably enthusiastic makes you seem unprofessional and insincere. Speaking quickly and loudly suggests you're aggressive and possibly not open to suggestions or divergent opinions. Speaking slowly in a high-pitched voice may give the customer the impression you're doubtful, hesitant, or incredulous. As well as maintaining a positive tone and adapting your tone to the content of what you say, it's important to use appropriate inflection. A lack of inflection in your voice makes you sound monotonous and dull. On the other hand, using too much inflection in your voice can make what you say sound forced and insincere. Active listening is crucial in all customer service, including the service you provide over the phone. You can give exceptional service only if you really know what a customer wants. So it's vital to listen carefully, both to what a customer says and to non-verbal cues like tone of voice. It's also important to prompt the customer to elaborate when necessary and to confirm and demonstrate that you've understood. 3 techniques can help you listen actively. You should restate and summarize what the customer says, encourage the customer to tell you more, and demonstrate empathy by restating the feelings the customer has expressed in your own words. Select each technique for more information about it. It's important to summarize the customer's main points in your own words. This lets you check that you've understood correctly. The customer can correct you or explain further if necessary. It also helps demonstrate that you've been paying close attention to what the customer has said. You can introduce a restatement of the customer's message using a phrase such as, "So if I've understood correctly, you're saying that," or, "So the problem is that." Whenever necessary, you should encourage a customer to provide you with additional information. You do this by asking specific questions that begin with the words why or what. You may also use restating the feelings a customer expresses or indicates through tone of voice enables you to demonstrate empathy. It also encourages the customer to elaborate or to speak more freely. For example, if a customer sounds frustrated, you say something like, "I know this can be frustrating for you," or "I understand how frustrating this is." Tyrone recently purchased a new printer from a reputable supplier, but is having problems installing it in his home office. He calls Jessica, a customer service representative for the supplier, for help. Follow along as Jessica takes Tyrone's call.
Good morning, Sonical Group Customer Service. Jessica speaking. How may I help you?
Hi, Jessica. My name is Tyrone Oswald, and I'm calling about a problem I'm having with the printer I recently bought from your store. No matter what I do, it just won't print.
I'm sorry to hear that, Mr. Oswald. Would you mind telling me more? What did you do to install the printer?
I connected the computer to the printer by installing the drivers and checking the cable connections. I also bought a new cartridge to make sure that wasn't the problem. Nothing works. I've tried to connect the printer to 2 different computers, but it just isn't printing.
That sounds worrying. So you've tried it on 2 computers with the drivers and it has ink. What are you using to connect it to your PC?
I tried the USB cable and the other one, that multi-pin printer cable. Both computers recognize the printer, but it just won't print.
Connection problems cause a lot of printer errors, but it sounds like that's not the case here. Do you get any error messages when you try to print?
Nope. No error messages. The printer just does absolutely nothing.
I understand how frustrating this must be for you, and I really wish I could solve this over the phone. But I think the best solution is for you to bring the printer in so we can test it. If it's faulty, we'll gladly fix or replace it.
If that's what it takes, I'll bring it in. Thanks so much for your help.
She consistently encouraged Tyrone to tell her more about the problem, which helps her find out as much as possible about the problem and its underlying issues. Jessica also restated Tyrone's feelings in her own words, which makes her an empathetic listener. Even though Jessica couldn't solve the customer's problem over the phone, her use of active listening skills enables her to give Tyrone excellent customer service, so much so that he's satisfied with the result of the call. If customers feel you're delivering responses by rote or failing to take their concerns into account, they're unlikely to be satisfied. For example, consider common statements like, "Next customer please, I need your identification," and "You have to fax me a copy of the form before I can make any changes." These statements are problematic because they don't focus on the customer. A better approach is to use customer-focused language during all your calls. This language tells customers how your service will benefit them, and it shows you're focusing on their needs. Recall the previous problematic statements. Now select each statement for a more customer-focused alternative. "Hi, thanks for waiting. How may I assist you?" Would you please give me a form of identification so I may assist you? Would you please fax me a copy of the form so that I can make the changes for you? It can be easy during a call to default to self-centered language or impersonal greetings. However, if you maintain a focus on what's important to your customer, you'll make a better impression and find that the customer is much more helpful in return. Now consider the scenario of Joe and Mimi, a customer service representative at an electricity supplier. Follow along as Joe calls Mimi to inquire about his recent electricity bill. Notice how Mimi focuses on Joe's needs and what she can do to help him.
Hi, you've reached Brocadero. Mimi speaking. How may I help you?
Hi, Mimi. This is Joe Keenan. I've received an electricity bill that seems unreasonably high. Can you check this?
Of course, Mr. Keenan. Could you please give me your account number so I can call up the details of your account and check your latest bill for possible errors?
Certainly. It's 344-246-29.
Thank you. There doesn't appear to be an error, but I notice your power usage has increased. We're in the middle of winter, so this isn't unusual. May I ask you some questions to find out how you could save money on your bill?
Well, of course, if it can save me money.
What appliances do you use daily and at what time? Your answer may enable me to recommend a billing type that's more cost-effective for you.
Appliances?
Yes, Mr. Keenan. If I know which appliances you use most at a specific time of the day, I may be able to move you to a package that costs less per unit.
Oh, okay. I'm not home in the daytime, but at night I use my laptop, TV, and microwave. Oh, and when it's cold, like during these last few weeks, I often use an electric heater.
Thank you. I believe you'll save considerably on your monthly bill if you switch to our Night Saver option. Basically, we increase your fixed fee slightly, but your night usage is billed at a much lower rate. You should give this option some serious thought.
Wow, thanks, Mimi. Please, email me the details, and I'll let you know if I want to take up the offer.
In a commonplace interaction, like the one between Mimi and Joe, it's easy for things to become impersonal and for the customer to feel like he's got a raw deal. Mimi managed to resolve Joe's query to his satisfaction because she focused her language on him and his needs. He didn't mind answering her questions because she made it clear how doing this could benefit him. Often the reason customers phone is because they need assistance in resolving problems. So an important aspect of providing excellent customer service is your willingness to help your customers to the best of your abilities. When handling customers' requests, it's important to avoid negative statements and to refuse requests outright, even if you can't solve their problem. Take the example of a customer phoning about a delivery that is running late. As a customer service representative, you can't turn back time and make the package arrive on the due date, but if you offer alternatives, you can make the situation better. By apologizing, offering compensation, or having your company absorb the customer's cost, you'll give your customer a good experience and salvage a potential disaster. Tom is a customer service representative for an online book retailer. He needs to contact Trudy, a customer, to tell her the book she ordered has been withdrawn from circulation and is no longer available. Follow along with Tom and Trudy as they discuss Trudy's order.
Good afternoon, Miss Barnes. It's Tom calling about your order of the book Suburban Sunrise. I'm afraid it has been removed from circulation and we're unable to get more copies.
What? I've been waiting 2 months for that book. When I ordered it, it was available. I already paid for it.
I know you've been waiting and we're very sorry about that. Apparently we received only half our order from the supplier who ran out of copies. We'll refund you naturally. Are you perhaps interested in something else by the same author? We do have his other books in stock.
No, I don't think so. I've been trying to find that particular book for ages.
I'm sorry that we haven't been able to help you get the book. We'll send you a voucher as an apology along with the refund.
I appreciate that. Is there any chance the book may come back into print?
I'm not sure, but may I suggest you search for it on websites that supply secondhand books?
I didn't think of doing that. Yes, thanks, Tom. That's a good idea.
Tom found himself unable to deliver on what Trudy wanted, so he did the next best thing and tried to salvage the situation. By remaining proactive and offering various alternatives, Tom manages to impress Trudy, even though she didn't get her book. So next time she's searching for a book, it's likely she'll return to Tom's company for help. A customer calls to complain about a delivery that hasn't arrived. Mirroring your customer's language is an effective strategy for ensuring you use terms they understand and are comfortable with. This doesn't involve parroting a customer. Instead, it involves picking up specific terms and using the same ones in your explanations to prevent misunderstandings. Often adjectives carry different meanings for different people, so it makes sense to use the same terms as your customers if they use specific words to describe something. Take the example of a businesswoman who phones a design company about creating a website for her. She asks for a vibrant look and feel, but the designer reiterates her brief using the adjective colorful. This holds a completely different connotation for the customer, and she feels misunderstood before the job's even started. Another aspect of mirroring your customer's language is to match the style of their communication. Customers have their own personal style of communication, and you should try to match this style. If a customer uses direct language, then you should speak quickly, organize your information before you speak, and focus on the customer's goals. If a customer is chatty, you should speak quickly and energetically, allowing a little time for pleasantries. The key is to keep a balance between goals and unrelated chat. Megan is a book review writer at a magazine. She calls Tom, the customer service representative for an online book retailer, to ask about a book that's due for release. Follow along as Tom handles Megan's query.
Good morning, you've reached Imagine. This is Tom speaking. How may I help you?
Hi, Tom. It's Megan. Can you tell me the release date of Worth Every Penny by Raymond H. Rossetti? A month ago, your website had it down as August 30th, but now it's September 15th.
Hi, Megan. It will take me a couple of seconds to check the release date on my system. So you're keen to get the book as soon as it comes out?
I need to review it for an article on inspirational books, but if it isn't out until September, I won't make my deadline.
Okay, I'm just getting the results now. Which publication do you write for?
Blazerfire. It's a magazine. Do you know the release date yet?
I'm sorry for the delay. I can confirm that the book will indeed be released on September 15th. Perhaps I can find another self-help book we're releasing sooner for you to review.
That'll be too late. Also, I'm reviewing inspirational, not self-help books.
I'm sorry. I can take your name and email address, and then we can contact you if the date changes again.
Thank you.
Tom failed to match Megan's style of communication. She clearly wasn't interested in small talk and just wanted a result. If Tom had sped up the conversation and just related the facts, he would have made a better impression. Tom also failed to use Megan's language to describe the category of book she was after. If he had used Megan's term, inspirational, rather than self-help, he would have avoided a misunderstanding. Sam works at Unito Furnishers. She gets a call from Mr. Adams, who wants to reschedule the delivery date of his new reclining armchair. He's really looking forward to relaxing in what he calls his superbly comfortable rocker. Match each strategy for providing excellent customer service with the statement that demonstrates it. To deliver outstanding customer service over the telephone, you can use several techniques. These include minding your tone of voice, listening actively to the customer, using customer-focused language, using a range of problem-solving strategies to resolve the customer's problems, and mirroring a customer's language. These strategies help you to put customers at ease, facilitating positive, successful interactions in each call you handle. For businesses today, telephone communication with customers has become increasingly important. So when handling customers' calls, it's imperative that you present a professional, helpful and courteous image of your organization. You can now practice your skills in a role-play scenario to find out how well you do in providing outstanding customer service over the phone. In the role-play that follows, you'll practice applying 4 main guidelines. Show you're actively listening to your customers. Use customer-focused language to facilitate customer cooperation. Help to resolve your customers' problems, and mirror your customers' language to make them comfortable and avoid misinterpretations. You're a customer service representative at the Manajek Group, a company that sells and distributes technology.
I bought a very expensive laptop from you guys, and now it won't work. I don't have it on me. I'll have to find the invoice later. That's not important anyway. What matters is that the laptop I purchased from your company isn't working properly. I think the screen is damaged. Yes, it is frustrating. Do you plan to take this seriously? Excuse me? I know how to use a computer. I've switched on the laptop and I can hear it run.
You've tested your ability to provide outstanding customer service over the telephone, focusing on showing the customer you're listening, using customer-focused language, helping the customer to resolve problems, and mirroring your customer's language.